Live, and I'm sending out the notification to everybody on our the RPPR and Ludonarrative Discords. Hey, it's Ross Payton with Ludonarrative Dissidents, and we're here with our June live stream because as we are on the tail end of the season, but the season just quite won't end.
It just won't let go. It's like we stake this vampire and we stab it with our steely knives, but we just can't kill the beast, guys.
Yeah. Man.
So.
Yeah, so to explain that context, we tried to record our final episode of the season, which is going to be an actual play of The Quiet Year with the game's creator, Avery Alder, and Dr. Emily Friedman, who is a scholar on actual play. And unfortunately, both of our guests had substantial technical difficulties.
We killed 2 laptops.
We did get, well, yeah, 2 laptops died in the attempt to record. So we got like,
look at that passive voice on Ross there. No, we didn't kill that. The laptops died. There's no responsibility.
I don't feel like I don't feel I'm to blame at all for that. That's not on me. That's I blame vibe coding.
When you were in New Jersey, did you spit on a witch?
I don't want to talk about it. It's very personal. Yeah. Good evening, Gareth and other viewers. But yeah, so let's talk about something. So we're gonna try and record next month with at least Dr. Friedman. Hopefully Avery Alder can join us as well. We'll see. But we still have episodes in the can to release, so there'll still be our final review episode is coming up. James is working on the show notes for it. And but let's talk about something nice. James, you went to UK Game Expo.
I did at the end of May, and I was actually quite ill. That's not a reflection on the show itself. I sometimes have to remind myself how old I am and go, no, it's actually I'll be fine doing 2 days and including about 7 hours of talks at the Norwich Games Festival, and then literally immediately, finishing my last talk, rushing to the station, getting back to London for midnight, and then having to be on a 10 o'clock train to Birmingham the following morning, having completely laundered all my clothes and got everything I need together for UK Games Expo. I can't do that anymore. I must finally reconcile myself to that fact. Having said that, Games Expo was great. I mean, it broke new records. Its official attendance was over 50,000, and that's uniques, not turnstile. And every year or every half year or so, we talk about the difference. Uniques means if you attend the show on 3 days, you're counted once. Turnstile means if you attend the show on 3 days, you're counted 3 times. The turnstile figure was over 80,000. But that cements UKG very firmly as the 3rd largest tabletop show in the world, which is, it's 20 years old this year. It's comparatively a very new show by comparison.
It's perfect. But has there ever been a better time to have a great show available for people who don't want to travel to the United States of America for whatever reason?
Yeah, it's true. But at the same time, there were a lot of families there. There were a lot of people who had, come for the day with the family. Really good vibe. Huge trade halls, absolutely vast quantities of trade space. I did notice the UK industry is vibrant, but the huge majority of the companies in it are micro businesses, which, not even the conventional definition of a micro business, which is less than 10 employees. In this case, it's almost always a company through which people are not earning a living. It's their hobby companies. They are 1 or 2 people doing it because they
micro mini business.
Absolutely. And it does seem that UK companies hit a ceiling beyond which it is not easy to grow. And I'm going to devote a fair amount of time to working out why that ceiling exists and what is causing it. Because it doesn't occur in France, it doesn't occur in Germany, it doesn't seem to occur in the US. And I think it may be the constricted size of the UK market and lack of distribution and lack of information and all kinds of reasons. Anyway, but what that means is there's loads and loads of stuff that you have never come across games you have never heard of before. We were next to a booth with a fantastic new RPG that's kickstarting in the very near future called, I think it's 10 Days to Armageddon or 10 Days to Apocalypse. It's a kind of cyberpunky space future thing that doesn't look like anything else. I was really impressed that it was not kind of, oh, well, there's a bit of 40k and a bit of cyberpunk. No, it's its own animal. And it felt like they were doing everything right. They were engaging people in a really interesting way. Their pitch was solid. The game itself sounded good. Didn't get a chance to look at the mechanics. I've no idea. But at some point I will, when I've actually seen the game, I will burble about it properly.
Okay, that answers my question. When you say it doesn't look like anything else, I was wondering, okay, does that mean the mechanics are new and different and unique, or does it mean that the trade dress is new and different and unique, or does it mean that the design of the So it sounds like
the graphic style, basically. It's not aping anything else. It's not kind of, this is a kind of 40k with the corners sawn off. It felt like its own vision, in the same way that, what's the one that we looked at with the body hopping, the post-humanist,
Eclipse Phase?
Eclipse Phase, yes, in the way that Eclipse Phase is its own thing. This one felt like it is its own thing.
What's it called again?
It's called, I'm trying to find the actual name. It's something like 10 Days to Armageddon, 10 Weeks to Oblivion. There we go. Rambunctious games. They are kickstarting in the near future, and I was just really impressed. They hit the ground running.
I have to comment to Seagoat, look, man, those laptops would have killed you and everyone you cared about. Give it a chance.
Aww. So all I can find for them right now for Rambunctious Games is their YouTube channel. I haven't looked very hard, but
could be. They've got a mailing list. They're already post UKGE 2 mailings in to the people who signed up, and they're judging the tone really nicely. It's no notes.
Okay, here we go. No, I found their proper website. I think here we go. Rambunctiousgames.co.uk. 10 Weeks to Oblivion. Here we go.
So there's the art stuff. The power armor looks a little bit like Halo, and I said it looks a bit. And everyone says that it's not Halo. We're not just doing Halo. So yeah, and the artist is
okay. Yeah, no, I can see the little. Yeah, I see it. I see it there. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oops. Let's see here. Yeah, I can't. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me make it a little larger.
But just while you were doing that, I didn't get a chance to wander the halls, unfortunately, because I was ill for an awful lot of it, and doing meetings and talks and stuff.
And in the chat, someone else has said, "I don't know, it looks like they're doing Halo."
They're not doing Halo.
That's gotta hurt so bad.
Yeah. But yeah, so I
Every
didn't
time
really.
someone says that, a single tear goes down the artist's cheek.
Yeah.
I bought one game, which is from a company I already knew, Capital Gains Studios, who are Singaporean board game board game designers, but also economists, and all the games they do.
You were talking about these guys.
Yeah, let me pull it up. I remember the name.
It's the game I bought was is that the one? Zombie Life Insurance, which is the way they described it, which was probably too honest of them, is it's basically exploding kittens but with zombies and life insurance. So there's a zombie plague and you're probably going to get bitten, so you take out insurance, but how much insurance do you take out? What level of potential cure? And do you hold off, particularly if you get infected, do you hold off cashing in your insurance in the hope that the cure will be developed before you actually go full zombie? And then full zombie isn't the end. You can continue playing, kind of trying to screw up the other players. I haven't played that one yet. The other title of theirs I've played, Wonga Mania, which is about the boom-bust economic cycle, which is just really smart game design. But the games come with a little pamphlet in there explaining the underlying economic principles of what the game is about. And it's just, I am a goob for really well done educational games. And I did study economics, and it's just really smartly done. They're really neat. And so far as I can tell, they pretty much are the Singaporean hobby game industry. Yeah, so that was the only thing I actually bought. As I said, I felt like crap for most of the show and didn't get a chance to wander the halls. Did a great panel on humor in RPGs with the great Alan Varney, best known for his extensive work with TSR and also on Paranoia. Chris O'Neill from Level 9, Ninth Level Games. Of course.
Can I pause to praise Alan Varney? Because what he does is the bundle of holding is his thing, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
His current thing. Yeah. I mean, he's been in the industry since the 80s.
He has set this up. Yeah. Well, I remember him before that. And we, were vague acquaintances. And then he's like, okay, I'm setting this up and I hope it works. And man, it's worked. And what I love is that every time he invites me to be in one of those, it is one of those moments in the creative career that is just pure joy, because he's like, hey, can I use this? And I ask the questions, do I have to do anything? And he says no. And I say, will I get paid? And he says yes. And I'm like, this is what it's all about.
Living the dream.
Yeah. And then you get paid, and it's, this is not peanuts. I have to say, I don't want to tell too many tales out of school.
The money's real.
He showed up, and it's been 20 years since I've seen him, but he looked really well and really relaxed. And I said, Alan, you look amazing. He said, for the first time in my life, I am not wondering where the next paycheck is coming from. I said, Bundle of Holding is doing well. And he named a number, and it's like, holy fuck, man, you may be one of the best paid people in the tabletop games industry.
He earned that shit.
He really earned that. And
he has put in the years, the hours, the attention. I mean, it's
it's absolutely.
By the way, and I should give a nod to Baz. I did not initially notice that Future Wolf MC is the same as Future Wolfington on Discord. I blame our cyberpunk dystopia present. My attention has been broken.
It's the green algae. It's getting to you.
Oh yeah. Well, it's guarded now. The National Guard's literally guarded.
I've heard that.
Yeah. But
presidential blue algae, as I
yes. It's blue. Yes, citizen. It is definitely. What color is the reflecting pool, citizen? Friend computer has some things to say about that.
War is peace. Blue is green. I don't understand why you traders have so much trouble with these concepts.
Yeah.
It is. It's a very paranoia thing, isn't it? What is your clearance, citizen? Is it blue or green?
Yeah.
Very clear. But apart from that, just talking about the humor and games panel. So Chris O'Neill from Ninth Level, who will be doing the new edition of Baron Munchausen, which will be coming out later this year, 4th edition. That's all signed. Anna Blackwell, great solo game designer, and Gareth Hanrahan. What did
Anna Blackwell do? What? I know that name.
Apothecarium, and then the kind of the pet version of it. She did fantastic design, really clever, kind of cozy. They're not exactly funny, but there's a lightheartedness to them that's delightful. Also, Gareth Hanrahan. I didn't tell my panelists that I would be running the Humor in Games panel in the style of a British radio comedy show called I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. So we opened by asking Gareth, what is the funniest role-playing game you've played and why? And can you sing this to the tune of the Marseillaise? The look he gave me at that point, I will take with me to my grave. It was just a thing of absolute beauty.
There is a cruel pleasure in that sort of, I know you're not prepared for this. Boom! I did that in the actual play podcast for Termination Shock in the first season, where one of the characters in this science fiction setting is meeting this alien, and the alien, they're just chatting. They've just met at the doctor's office. The alien's like, so I don't know much about humans. Can you tell me what's up with sex and gender? Because this is really... just give me like the 30-minute brief. And wow, that player stammered. He just... And he is a great guy, a brilliant designer, a reliable contributor, and I put him on the spot without mercy.
What else are
I feel
friends
a little
for?
bad about it now, but hey,
Yeah,
I had to make the content. I had to. You understand, Ross? You don't think I'm a bad guy for what I did?
nah.
It was all for the content.
It's all for that's the real answer. It's all for the content. You gotta whatever you do, you gotta do it for the content. But speaking of content,
I have literally shackled myself to my microphone so that the sound quality will be good.
You just gotta stay close to the microphone, Greg. That's, whatever it takes. But and I am a horrible monster though. Thanks, Karen. There in the chat. But yeah, Baz is in chat, and last night I ran the 4th session of my Shadow Dark campaign for RPPR, and this is the first Mega Dungeon campaign. And it's very interesting.
Is Baz in that?
Yeah, Baz joined the campaign last session, so he played a dwarf fighter named Hugin Groinhammer. So it's not a very super serious game, but it's very interesting to do this campaign because the players are revisiting the same areas multiple times, because the premise of the campaign is that they're hired by the court wizard to explore this underground mega dungeon, and at the end of each session the wizard teleports them back for a debriefing. So at the beginning of each session teleports them to the surface. They have to go back down all the way they came every session. And it's very fun because I get to roll random encounters all the time, and they get to see the dungeon evolve and change. Hugin Groinhammer is incredibly serious. Baz wants to let us know.
If I was doing that on the first session, they'd meet this guy and he'd be like, yeah, oh, I just got married, and everything's going great. I'm so happy. And I mean, I know this is the honeymoon phase, and then every time they pass him, he's like, yeah, I don't know, she's just been, things are different. What? It's like she's not the same person I married, and then it gets grimmer and grimmer, and then the characters, if they investigate it, find out there's a doppelganger or something.
Yeah. But yeah,
you can have that one for free, Ross.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep that in mind. I mean, I'm trying to keep it close to the text of the campaign as written, because it's very fun. Just to give you an idea, there are neutral NPCs. Not everybody in there is a enemy, and they've met 2 of them. One is the entire structure has all these gas lines throughout it that they use to run gas powered lights, but some of them are broken and some of them don't work anymore. And there's a little guy who travels through the pipes, and if you bang on the pipes and you're friendly to him, he'll show up, and he's just called the Pipe Merchant. And they never see him. Let me see if I can find the picture I found of him. Yeah.
What voice do you use for the
hello, stranger, what do you buy? And I do the Resident 4 merchant, because that's my favorite video game merchant. So he's like, hello there, oh, buy it at a high price. But there's incredible art of him. Let's see if I can find it. And the players, of course, love this guy, and they want to help him no matter what. But the other one is a butcher who has a wolf's head, and he's called the Knife Man. And the Knife Man has a quest where he wants meat from rare monsters, and if the players can get him at least a pound of meat from each of these monsters, he'll give them a different item for each different monster they can get. So that encourages the players to go out and go hunting for these rare monsters. And so they went giant hagfish fishing in order to get it the other night. And let's see, what else did they do? They've been doing a lot. And because every week a giant, so they found out there's a giant monster roaming around that wakes up every week and goes on a rampage through a certain section of dungeon looking for everything to eat, and be like, well, he's left his lair now, let's go to his lair and see if we can find any hidden treasure. I'm like, all right, cool, let's see how this works out. And I don't want to spoil anything, but it was very interesting to see how the players' relationship to the dungeon and the environment and their strategy changes. So it's been very fun to run so far, and I'm very glad I'm doing it. But So
I just want to say, does Hugin Groinhammer have an offspring called Grimly, son of Groin?
That's a good one. So yeah, I think Baz was saying if my character dies, he has a name, a brother or something. I forgot what the name was. Not yet. Okay, so
Congratulations, you put that idea in his head, and suddenly it's Ponfar for this guy.
Yeah,
Mugen Groinhammer. Okay, I can see.
Yeah,
that.
Mugen Groinhammer. Okay, here we go. I found the
perfect sense.
Here's the pipe merchant. That's the art for him, if you can see that. And he's just a little guy. And then let's see, I'll make it a little bigger so you can see it.
Just wanted to be your best friend, your creepy, smelly best friend.
I didn't even specify these friends. And then here's the knife man. And he's just hello, what's going on? They've also made friends with the quartermaster, who has a rare magical key that there's several of these magical keys floating around, and he has one of them, and he won't give it away or sell it no matter the cost. But the players like him, so they're like, we're not going to fight this guy. Like, okay, well, good luck finding the other keys. So it's very interesting to see who the players are befriending and who are like, this guy's got to die.
I was going to say, is there anyone that you're where you're like, oh, this will be a useful ally for the PCs, and they're like, fuck that dude, I'm gonna sneak up on him while he's asleep, I'm gonna try and keep his skin in one piece?
Yeah, kind of. Like well, kind of the opposite. I thought they would pick a fight with this guy, and they're like, no, let's just help him. And it's a fungal overmind controlling this whole fungal garden and maze, and they're like, yeah, no, I like this giant spore monster that's infected some of the party. Let's help him out. So like, it's been very
have
fun.
You read Mexican Gothic, Ross? Have you?
No, I've not. Yeah.
Have you read Moonflow? This is all the kids are crazy for fungal overminds now.
Apparently, yeah. So we'll see. I'm just running this as written, so we'll see who else the players befriend or murder. It'll be we'll have a running tab later on. But anyways, that's what I've been running lately, and it's been a lot of fun. Just to be. Now I'm at the point where I could just like, hey, who's available today, and we'll run a session and throw them in the dungeon. And I'm keeping notes, because I have a rotating player cap. So like some player, it doesn't need the exact same players every time, because the wizard recruited a lot of adventurers, and every week he just throws a different group of them in. But he takes notes between sessions so everybody can kind of catch up in what they've missed. So yeah.
No, sorry, he's out this week. He said something about it being his weekend with his daughter. I didn't want to pry into it.
Yeah, exactly right. Have either of you run like a mega dungeon campaign before?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know that it would appeal. I feel like there are so many things I want to do before going back to Dungeon Fantasy that it's like, I've had a lot of fun with Dungeon Fantasy games, but I feel like I've done my quota, and that there might be diminishing returns.
Yeah,
same.
That's fair. I mean, this Ave Nox is written like a year or two ago, so it's like written with modern RPG design sensibilities. It's like there's a lot of options for diplomacy, for stealth, a lot of different approaches. It's a very open-ended. There's lots of what in video games you call Metroidvania elements, where like you find an area but you can't access it immediately. And I'm using Shadowdark, which is a game that rewards like learning secrets, and it doesn't you don't have to fight anything to get experience. You only get experience for treasure and learning secrets and completing quests. So like it's not
do a full pacifist run.
Maybe not full pacifist without modifying some things, but like close to it. Like you could use a lot of I mean, if you're very stealthy and very good at like lying to people, you probably could, and disguising yourself as like one of like the main factions.
Asking about a supervillain book. Are you thinking about Base Raiders, which was Ross's?
What was that supervillain book called? Maybe wasn't the prison super deep underground in that. Could make for a fun mega dungeon concept. No, it was a novel.
Oh, that was Sinner.
Oh, okay. Let me pull that up. Let's see.
That was ages ago. And yeah, they're trying to keep these supervillains contained, and so it's like deep underground and has all these traps and non-personnel, and then there's like almost no one's in it. The people who deserve this kind of treatment we can't really catch very easily, and the people who don't want to be here are usually have a pretty good case that this is cruel and unusual punishment. So yeah, we spent billions of dollars to build this empty prison.
Yeah. Superhero dungeon crawling is definitely, like, I obviously explored that in Base Raiders quite a bit, but like it's something I want to revisit.
Well, and it's like I've said, superhero games, you never know what you're gonna get, because if it's a game where you can design your powers very particularly, so it's like, yes, I'm Coagula, and so I can make things melt and coagulate, and at some point there's going to be a problem that did not foresee. Oh, well, they'll simply coagulate their way out of this one, and you get the big letdown. Unless, of course, it's, the way around that is the GM plans around things, and it's like, yeah, he didn't take coagulation powers because he didn't want to ever coagulate something.
My superhero
is the pipe merchant.
He's just a little guy. He's just there. He's just wanting to be helpful and make a buck at it.
Ladies.
Yeah,
the pipe merchant is here.
He has hit on one of the female
save the
party,
day.
So, yeah.
Oh, the pipe merchant has?
Yeah, there's kind of a romantic triangle between the pipe merchant, the knife man, and one of the player characters. It's very fun. So, yeah.
Just the belle of the dungeon, dang.
Yeah. Hildegard. But yeah, I do want to revisit base raiders at some point. I know, like, Fate or Evil Hat said they're not going to be designing a new version of Fate anytime soon, so I kind of want to look at the most recent edition. And I mean, they're still making games, obviously, but they're like, we kind of like solved Fate, or kind of was the impression I got. So yeah,
crocodiles haven't changed much in 10 million years because they do what their form fits their function. Likewise, Fate.
Yeah.
There is a part of me, every now and then the thought bubbles up from, the swampy stew down here, that I'm like, there's a better way to do superheroes like Wild Talents, because Wild Talents is super simulationist, and I'm like, there's got to be a way to make it more narrative, that okay, because this is relevant to my coagulation powers or my becoming very tiny powers, I get to narrate something without it having to be really specific. And probably the solution is to have everything be a little more vague and a little less particular. But
so this does remind me of a comic I remember seeing that was very fun, and sort of like the difference between American and Japanese style superpowers. So let me make this a little larger. And so silly superpowers in Western comics, your powers are to make bubblegum. That's so stupid. Versus silly powers of manga, your lungs are now filled with bubblegum. And I kind of like, one of my design white whales would be like to make a real, and we've talked about like what is that dogs in the Vineyard rule set is like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure style, like dueling superpower thing. But
JoJo's Bizarre Vineyard,
JoJo, like that's one of the things they recommend. But like, I would love to do a game that's based on these silly superpowers being used for deadly serious duels that are like elaborate puzzles that the players have to solve. But it's also like a 1v1 thing, so I don't know how to do that in like an ensemble, like the typical like 3 to 5 player characters. But yeah, that would be my white whale. I wanted I have no idea how I do it, but yeah,
I mean, the way that immediately comes to mind is to have the puzzles involved are okay. You can't get it, and I can't get it. But if we work together, the way our powers interact will let us get it. When I was working on Godsend Agenda, the thought I had was, boy, wouldn't it be fun if the powers from, because you've got, the powers from one alien race that's like, oh no, we're all basically robots with this power source inside of us. And another alien race is like, no, we're basically all bioengineered war forms. And, then a third race is, oh no, we're all psychic Atlanteans. And it's like, wouldn't it be neat if the powers sort of interacted in weird ways? And it's like, oh yeah, well, with this power, you can do X. But by the way, if a psychic Atlantean helps you do it, oh boy, it gets weird.
Okay, yeah. Kind of a combo thing. Yeah, I like that.
Yes. Combos and across characters. So it's like, man, fungal guy is a dick, but I need his spores to do the super fireball.
Oh, yeah, like a force multiplier kind of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That could be interesting. James, any thoughts on like how you would do that, or would you do that approach?
I have no idea. I'm sorry. I'm very tired.
No, yeah, that's fair.
You've been working hard.
I've been working. I was at an unconference about game design for tabletop gamers, run by a friend of the podcast, Sarah Cole, in fact, today. And there were about 20-25 designers theoretically from across the industry, but as with so many of these things, it's advertised for the whole of any games designers from any discipline. And because about 2/3 of the people there were indie game design, indie RPG people, every discussion was about indie RPGs. And had some great discussions, but was not the wide-ranging collection of discussions that I was hoping I was going to have. But quite tiring, and also my kids are racing at the moment. Complete digression, my kids are rowers. Women's Henley, which is the prelude to Royal Henley, is going on at the moment. My kids are in this. Their school team is very small. It's like if 2 people are injured, they can't race. They don't have enough crew to fill an 8. But they got through their heats, and then they beat one of their arch rival teams. And so they're racing again tomorrow against possibly the best girls' school team in the country. And we do not think they're going to necessarily do as well as they were doing today. But we will see. But it's all quite tiring because it means really, really early starts, because Henley is outside London and there's stuff that needs to be done. So I apologize. I'm quite tired. My imagination is not firing as well as it ought to.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, the game design conference sounds very interesting, though. Any other insight in that you picked up there, or is it just?
I mean, it was a really interesting bunch of people. Dr. M. Friedman, who we mentioned before, was there, and we talked about the history of play cultures and different play cultures within the RPG space, and how much of that is dictated from what comes from the players, and how much comes from the GM, and how much comes from the way the game itself is presented. And that was just a really interesting hour of conversation.
My son has been going off on this, or on something similar with I'm sorry, did I interrupt?
I was just going to say, because M. Friedman, she has just delivered to MIT Press the manuscript for her book, The Actual History. The current title is The Actual History of Actual Play, because an awful lot of the discussion about play culture comes out of actual play, because for about the first time you can actually watch different groups playing D&D and similar games in different ways and analyze their play styles. And a lot of people watch them and then go to a new game expecting that it will be played in a Dimension 20 style or a Critical Role style or something, which, if you're fairly new to DMing, is a huge ask, not just being asked to DM, but being asked to DM in a very particular style, often one that's arisen out of years and years of practice, and indeed, working with improvisational actors,
specialized training. Yes,
So it is a really interesting
basketball.
space.
Why can't I slam dunk?
Yeah.
So I don't know when Em's book is due to come out, but it is going to be an absolutely fascinating read. She is the foremost scholar of actual play and the history of actual play, and has tracked it back way further than you would believe actual play exists. And it's going to be a great read. I think it will be up there along with the John Petersons and the other great histories of the hobby.
So Dungeons and Designers and whatnot. Yeah.
My son took a I want to say philosophy of sound design, but I know that can't possibly be right. But one of the discussions he was talking about, and the theorist he was reading, whose name I can't recall, who was like, okay, where is the musicness of a piece of work? Where does that reside? Is it the composer who wrote the actual notes and said, yes, play the B flat here, then wait a little bit, then the A sharp? Is it in the musician who puts their own spin on it? Is it in the audience and how receptive they are to it? And that, you can make arguments for all of these, that, if you have an uneducated audience listening to some styles of music, particularly some jazz types, it's just going to be noise. If they know what they're hearing, it means something to them. And then there are people who are like, look, there are singers who you can give them any cruddy song and they'll make it sound great. And there are composers whose work is instantly recognizable, whether it's being played on the piano or plucked out on the piano or played on by a giant orchestra. And so there's probably a little something going on here too.
Sure.
Umberto Eco should have been a gamer, because you're going to get into these layers of, okay, if you have a great game of impossible landscapes, who made that great? Was it the rules designers who did Delta Green? Is it Dennis Detwiller who wrote Impossible Landscapes? Is it your GM who is taking your feedback and using Dennis's text as a ladle to spoon experience to you? Or is it you, the player, putting enough emotion and intelligence and creativity into it that you reverberate with the material you're being presented?
Yeah. I mean, that's when
and it's all of them, of course, but nobody wants to say that.
I mean, I'm writing an essay for our Ludonarrative zine, which is also one of the season 3 rewards, and I'm talking about RPG reviewing and the difficulty in that, because our role-playing game is a written text, but it's also a performance, right? And each performance is unique to that time and those people playing it, and it's where the participants are the core audience as well. And so like when you're reviewing an RPG, you can't review a performance because even because unless you were the player there, and then it was that unique to that particular section, you can only review the text like in a way that will help other people. Like I can make a bad game fun, but like that doesn't mean it's a good game. I've run some stinkers of RPGs, but that does, in terms of the actual game, but that doesn't mean I would recommend you should play it just because I had fun doing it. So,
it worked in spite of the rules, not because of the rules.
And
I mean,
a lot
that's like I'm trying to remember which artist it was who was talking about. She's like, oh well, for the last 17 years I've been a professional illustrator working primarily in watercolors, and my watercolor set is finally empty. And people are like, wow, your work is so beautiful. What do you use? And she's like, I'm not going to lie to you. I picked it up at Disneyland. It's a child's toy, basically. That's how it was in among the Lilo and Stitches. And it was a watercolor set, and I just learned to use that. And I read that. I'm like, okay, so this is a little bit of a counterpoint to the people who are like, I could write such a great novel if I had the right fountain pen.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a lot of RPG reviewers saying, oh, you have to, it's like, oh, it's not a real review unless you play it yourself. It's like, well, yeah, but that doesn't necessarily, that I feel like in some ways that's a hindrance to a review that people would find helpful. because like your own actual play experience, because you're playing with your regular players and you know their expectations, you're going to find it more enjoyable.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe this, but when John Tynes ran Puppet Land, it was really good.
Yeah.
Compare and contrast with when, Schmucky Steve ran Puppet Land and it sucked. I don't know what they changed between the two editions of Puppet Land.
So yeah, that's what my essay is going to be talking about, but so it's an interesting topic, and like that's the thing is like Dr. Emily Freeman's the only the preeminent scholar of actual play, but I don't know how many there are. Like all of this is such in its infancy. We're not even we're barely at the talkies in terms of comparison, and even film itself there's thousands of years of theater and versus century and change for film. Yeah.
It is not that hard if you went looking to find people who are older than the entire form. Go knock around any retirement home. But
video games are
trying to work out what Umberto Eco thought about D&D. Yeah.
I mean, he was a member, as I recall, of Oulipo. He was, or at least was associated with Oulipo. So the playfulness and the constraints of imposing that across creative endeavors, I don't think was alien to him at all. I think it was something he was very familiar with. Role play itself, possibly less so. But I think he'd have got it. I don't know if he'd have been a player, but I think he would have understood it almost immediately.
Sure. And then if the Name of the Rose would have been Sean Connery had been killing some dudes in that castle in that monastery. It would have been a sick D&D session, I have to say.
So. What I remember about the Name of the Rose is there was a gap in the wall of the furnace in the shape of this leering demon face. And so the guy goes down the steps and suddenly sees these fiery red eyes and this leering mouth looking at him. He's like, "Oh God, it's Satan! Come for me because I'm out of bounds!" And runs away. And I'm like, "Dude, you would have made some good traps."
Yeah. No. Yeah. By the way, watch Name of the Rose. It's a very, I like it. It's a very good movie. It's very entertaining. It's also a great insight into we forget how different the medieval mind viewed everything. Comedy is bad. We should kill it.
Also
Jesus never laughed.
Yeah.
A young Ron Perlman as well is quite a revelation in that. I mean, just the whole cast of the monks as grotesques is fantastic, and Ron Perlman just fits straight in. It's not the book. It is very much what the word is palimpsest. It's a text written on top of another text, but still thoroughly enjoyable. Connery is great.
Which Echo would have loved.
Oh yeah,
I've never seen the movie.
Yeah,
no, it is worth 2 hours of your time. It does a really good job of condensing an incredibly dense and scholarly book into 2 hours. It has to lose a lot, but it keeps the tone. And what it does is it encourages you to read the book, and I don't think you can ask more of a good movie, really. Go back to the source material.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
In the way that Jaws doesn't. You get to the end of Jaws, and it's feel I've had enough of that now. I don't need to read the book, which is good because the book is awful.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the opposite.
Do not read Jaws.
Yeah. I remember reading. I watched the movie John Carpenter's Vampires, and I love John Carpenter's movies, and it was fun. And so I tracked down the novel, and the novel is a weird. I'm glad, boy, the movie. I mean, the movie is 3 out of 5 for John Carpenter. It's average. It's fine, but the novel is just
lesser work.
A lesser work. I just remember they have these bizarre scenes where all these vampire hunters who are being paid by the Catholic Church go on these. Oh, we had this lunch where we had an unlimited tab, and we spent 5 hours ordering steaks and beers, and we just ate. It was great. It's just this guy describing his fantasy of just hanging out with his boys at a steakhouse. It's just a really, for a vampire hunting novel, it's just really weird choices. So not recommended only for the masochists who just want to see like train wrecks of novels.
I mean, Umberto Eco's novels are good. They're very smart. I mean, and not just Foucault's Pendulum and Name of the Rose. Island of the Day Before, again, talking about lesser works, but it's still got some really weird shit in it. And then The Prague Cemetery is... I read that and I'm like, oh shit, I understand how we got this way in our culture now. Damn.
Wow.
Because the premise of The Prague Cemetery is that this guy has figured out he's working for a bunch of spy agencies in the deep past, and like has figured out that, oh yeah, if I take this document that was written by this German author about sinister Satanists meeting in the Prague Cemetery to discuss taking over the world, if I rewrite that to be about Jews, I can sell that to these guys. And if I rewrite it to be about Catholics, I could sell it to these Protestant guys. And, you know, his job is to be an investigator, but everyone who hires him has such a clear ideological axe to grind that he's like, yeah, whether it's true or not, when someone wants you to get to conclusion X, it's easier to make up the evidence and forge it than it is to find any kind of, you know, factual support. And I'm like, shit, this is us. This is where we are. This is why everything is hyper real. Fuck.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm working my way very slowly through Baudolino, which I think was his last novel, which on a recommendation from Callum of Les Rôlistes, who of course wrote Rosewood Abbey. And it's fantastic. It's incredibly dense, as you would expect. It starts in Italy, northern Italy, in about 1155.
Wait, Baudolino is numero 0 in English?
No, these are here's the main article. Let's take a look at all those novels. It says his last novel
Zero is awfully good too.
Yeah.
But the trouble is the narrator is unreliable. He almost from the word go, you are aware that he makes stuff up. And because I am not familiar with the history of northern Italy in the 1100s, I have no idea what's real and what is just made up for the book for humorous effect. But there's loads and loads of stuff about the Kingdom of Prester John and all of that, which I am looking forward to
welcome
getting
to the experience of reading Delta Green for many people.
yeah. We go, Matthew Hopkins in the west of England? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Well, you know, I'm reading stuff and I keep going, wait, was this a real UFO flap? Oh, no. Was this a real Bigfoot experience? Oh, no.
Here we go.
So,
here it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's Baudolino about?
I don't know. I'm only about a third of the way through. But it's essentially about a guy whose professional job is making shit up to make people happy. But in particular, aggrandizing emperors. He has no loyalty to anyone. It's really hard to describe. It flits back and forth between the present and Baudolino's youth. So all we know really is that in the bits about Baudolino's youth, assumedly we can assume he didn't die at that point, despite doing many things that would get his hands and head and various other bits of his anatomy chopped off at regular intervals. It's great. It's very Eco. It's got that. You can feel the depth of the knowledge and the depth of the research and the playfulness, and there's a large chunk in a made up vernacular language that's really difficult to read and apparently was a nightmare to translate, but is just hugely playful. Is it the one that includes trying to make a vacuum at some point? I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah, he's well, you're not done with it either. So
I'm not done with it. Yeah.
It might happen in the last pages. But a little unrelated, but I do want to speak about works of art. I just remembered that I recently saw a movie that is a work of art, The Furious, which Hong Kong action film directed by Kinji Tanigaki, who is a Japanese veteran stuntman. This is his first film. And it stars some of the people who worked on the raid.
Show that picture of him again.
Yeah.
Look at those ears. Oh man. That
yeah.
Are those all they look like they're all cauliflowered up, right?
I mean, he's had a very long career, so I would not be surprised. But you would be not surprised that it has a lot of the main guys from the raid. Yan here, he is the mad dog in the raid. Basically, if he shows up in a movie, the protagonist is going to have a bad time. It's about just the most angry men alive punching and kicking each other, and there's a human trafficking ring.
It's a work of art.
And it's a work of art because the level of fight choreography is just absurdly good. There's two good guys, this guy with a hammer and that guy, who are looking at trying to shut down this human trafficking ring. They're kidnapping children, and the guy on the left side with that giant hammer is a bad guy who's just huge guy built like a sumo wrestler, but like absurdly agile. And the fight scenes with him are just a delight.
People like that are so unfair.
Yeah, right.
I have met them. I'm like, damn it, you should not be this quick. Why aren't you slow like in the movies?
Yeah, no joke. He is very fast and very strong. And it's just very simple plot, but very well executed. There's no real like idiot clauses. Like everything sort of flows out of everything else, and there's no like, oh well, yeah. So it's I think a high watermark in terms of like martial art action films. It's like equal to the raid. So I'm gonna run a session of the Outgunned inspired by it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Let me know if you want me in on that.
Yeah, I know I want Caleb wants to play in it, so yeah, I need to sit down and like actually sketch out a plot and reread the rules because I've only played it. I haven't run it yet, so yeah, I'll keep you in mind for that. But I want like Caleb, I watched with Caleb, and he has more background in martial arts than I do, so he could like identify like what styles were used. Like it was multiple martial arts styles, and So I think
I remember. Was he the one who was talking about the opening of Winter Soldier and just going, oh, Muay Thai, okay, now that's Kung Fu, okay.
I think so. That's
Stambo?
Yeah. So yeah, if you can find it, it's in some theaters. It's got something of a wide release. I don't know exactly where, but just watch it, and it's really good sound design too, man. You can really hear all the impacts, so yeah, very very good. It's a lot better than Taken because these are just, you cannot understand. Like Liam Neeson is kind of cold and distant. Like these guys are so viscerally angry. They're so furious, and you could just like, they're just literally too furious to die. Like the amount of like just sweat and blood in this movie is just magnifique. Yeah. So yeah, very good stuff. So if you like the Raid 2, you would love the Furious.
Don't know when it's opening in the UK, but the Prince Charles is showing it over the next couple of weeks. In fact, if you happen to be in London, which I am, I may well try and bunk off and go and see that. The only movie I've seen recently, I went with notable RPG critic Professor Sebastian Detterding, and we sat through Lawrence of Arabia in 70mm, which is 4 hours. And it is still, I mean, it's astonishing. It's one talks about movies where the landscape or the setting is part of it, and Arabia is just the Arabian Peninsula, so much a character in that movie. And it's kind of grueling, it's kind of monumental, it's very much a product of its time. But there is nothing like it, and you should, if you have only ever watched it on a small screen, you have not seen the movie. It must be experienced on the big screen.
I would imagine
it's awe-inspiring.
Did it have a proper intermission?
It had the proper intermission. Yes.
Nice.
Which is really
yeah.
cool.
I don't even think. I think we have an IMAX theater around here, so I could probably, I don't know if they'll ever pull that out to show on the IMAX theater, but yeah, I'd love to see it. And yeah. 70mm. That sounds great. But before we go, we do have a bit of plug. Greg, tell us about the 3 pound.
Launching this.
Yeah.
So I have collected a bunch of my short stories. Again, I'm self-publishing it. You can get it as a print on demand, or it's got my werewolf romance story on it. It's got sleight of hand about where stage magic maybe gets a little too good. It's got a lot of fun stuff. It has Philo Cornforth and the Great Cosmic Winnowing, which is my funny story about how AI is the gravest threat to humankind. So yeah, check it out. You can sign up now, and when it launches, you could just pounce right on it.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I would love that.
Yeah, and we'll obviously, if you join either the Ludonarrative, the RBPR Discord, we'll have links when it goes up. And
you won't be able to shut me up about it.
Yeah. But yeah,
I'm just going to say, I'm glad that Callum can hear birdsong in the background and not my neighbors arguing in the background, which I can hear, but evidently my mic is not picking up.
Yeah, good mic there, Jay.
Yeah, I wonder.
It's directional.
I approve. Yeah. Greg's just living in.
I wonder if the birds are from me.
Yeah, they're definitely from you.
Okay. And the neighbor kid being,
you live in a Spielbergian suburban
birds.
Nice neighborhood, that's primed to get teleported back to the dinosaur period or something horrific. You're the great place, right? You're in a good place right now, Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The unconference I was at was repeatedly interrupted by magpies screaming at each other in the trees above us, which was thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah. I'm just picturing when you said your neighbors are arguing, I can only imagine it in like those thick, broad Liverpool accents and just really vulgar, really mean.
Close but South London accents, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and quite high.
Do the magpies in the UK, do they have swooping? Do you have swooping season like they have in Australia? Is that a problem?
Swooping season. I mean, they're corvids. They're smart birds. There are instances of them taking against particular people and just hounding them for months.
So this is something I discovered in Australia. Swooping season is a fact of life in Australia. It's here. I'll pull up a link here. They are they're just very angry birds. Look at that guy, and he does not care for you. So Australian magpies are infamous for their swooping behavior. So if you go near their nest, which could be like in line of sight, just they will come after you, and they attack cyclists, joggers, dog walkers. They'll just swoop at your head, it's not like lethal or anything, but it is annoying to get like attacked by a small bird.
That guy is pissed off.
Yeah, they're very pissed.
And possibly drunk as well.
Like people wear helmets to avoid. Wear sunglasses and a hat or a helmet. Protect your face.
All right.
Yeah.
There was a book I read once called something like Science at the Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, basically someone was like, I'm tired of scientists being presented as wheezy, asthmatic, neurasthenic dilettantes. And it's like, no, the scientists I know are going into very dangerous places doing very dangerous things. And they talked about this cave in Mexico where they're like, the atmosphere in there is so poisonous, it's like if you ran the Indy 500 in a garage. The whole thing, they're like, it's super toxic. But if you go 15 steps in and then walk back out and knock mud off your shoes, you can name a new species after yourself.
Yeah.
And what the magpie swooping was.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the magpie swooping was about was an ornithologist who was like, chemical exposure has made a lot of these apex predator bird eggs very fragile, especially in the cities. They get exposed to, sulfates, and their eggs are fragile. So to protect them because they're endangered species because they're at the top of the food chain, so the most precarious position. What I have to do is get the eggs out of their nests and bring them in until they hatch and then put the nests back. It's like, which, okay, is easy to say, except that these birds universally nest at the highest point they can find. So I am having to go up to the top of the stanchions of the Bay Bridge or the top of the Transamerica pyramid to get a bird's nest while an American eagle is trying to peck my eyes out for taking its children.
Aww. Well, we just covered a little bit of everything in this hour. A little bit of everything. Philosophy, game design,
a little bit of a ramble.
Action movies, birds.
Umberto Eco and ornithology.
It's a smorgasbord.
What you expect out of a gaming podcast?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, obviously. So
Eco was professionally, he was a semiotician, right?
That sounds right.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Medievalist, philosopher, semiotician, novelist, cultural critic, and political and social commentator, according to Wikipedia. So a couple of hats. James is working on the show notes
for intellectual titan.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. James is working on the show notes for our last review episode, and then those are not people arguing; those are kids having a blast.
That's Greg's neighbors, not my neighbors.
Yeah.
Which I can't hear because these are noise canceling.
Nice. So we'll get that out this month, and then we have the actual play for Swords of the Serpentine and the zine to get out, and then hopefully next month we can record our Quiet Year actual play, and then we'll be totally done with the season. Then we're gonna take a break for a month at least. And,
second time's the charm. That's what they say, right, Ross?
Yeah. Knock on wood if you are fingers crossed. Yeah.
Baz is over here talking about how he wants to eat an American eagle, and not too many eagles in my part of the country, sadly. And I'm like, it's not sad for the eagles, but
Umberto Eco the dolphin. Yeah, that's I've seen the joke before, but I've seen someone try to do it as a cartoon. It's just funnier as that phrase, Frank.
Yeah. I love my Echo Jams. So Umberto Echo Jams. That's what we need. That's a vaporwave joke. Okay, well, thank you all so much for that. It is late for James. We need to get going. I need dinner. We'll hopefully meet again next month. Thank you all again for supporting us. And so season 4 coming out sometime this year. We'll figure out the exact timing and all that stuff. But we're almost done. The finish line is in sight. We're almost there.
So close.
All right. We'll talk to you.
Thanks everyone for showing up. It would be a lot less fun without your comments.
Oh yeah,
for real. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
And apologies again to Gareth Hanrahan to the tune of the Marseillaise thing.